reality manifests itself through things like law of attraction or law of one principles. So, if you're not already catching on to those beginning fundamentals of this level of density, as in this much energy being in this space, and it's still a rule for many other levels of density that we can call different densities or we can call other dimensions, that rule persists for so many experiences. That's the one we're choosing in this space. Law of attraction is the one we're playing. It's a basic fundamental of vibration. Vibration attracts like. So, with that in mind, everything that I've shared could probably just be an eventual thought that you might come to. But I share this, having the experience of Cloud 9, because it's my excitement to share this. And it's my excitement to see other people liberate their limits. As I've liberated my limits so quickly, it really can be overnight.
I think the info about Cloud 9 that you shared is actually going to... I don't know how to really word this, but it's going to put a lot of people at ease and help them on certain levels.
Yeah.
Which I found it did with me. Like, I just taken all this in with awe, and it's great information, and it's helped me on many personal levels already just listening.
Yeah. Well, it's been a great conversation. We should probably continue this another time because, we could talk more. But I do got to get going at this point.
Okay, yeah, if you was ever up to another show someday to touch on a few topics, because I have a few people from my group that have, certain things, like maybe, like people are wondering about like energy changes because everyone's seeing orbs and shadows and stuff nowadays, and that kind of stuff.
Those are very important catalyzing experiences for people because they start to see sort of like the code of the matrix,
Yeah.
Start to see sort of the subtler, and when I say I see energy, I'm showing sometimes energy coming together. Like I can look at two plants and I can tell which one is growing and which one's dying. Literally by the way that the energy. And this is like, wow, what a great tip-off. This is the one, if I want it to live, this is the one I give energy to. This is the fruit I'm buying, the one with the most energetic luster. How do I know this? Shoot. Because I can see, but you know what? You don't even have to see. You can just feel it. You can put your hand over it and just say, God, take the steering wheel and put my hand on the right avocado. And you pull it out. Simply by your intention of how it's going to happen and allowing it. If you say, this doesn't work, well, good job. You've both created and destroyed a belief that, you're not ready for. So, we could definitely talk about more about the actual experience beyond Cloud 9, but I met many of my past lives that had a sort of like an ascended state. Some really interesting characters, some characters that I sort of channel when I'm in an extremely high state.
Mm-hmm.
And my own childhood, lots and lots of epiphanies there, lots of incredible energy. I have this tendency of saying cheers when I finish an email or something. Cheers, bro, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I realize what they're doing there. That is the vibration of Cloud 9. Everybody's so freaking ecstatic by how well everyone is transitioning and growing and the whole new world. They're sort of like jumping off the cloud and going back into physical ways and addressing physical things, either in a body or from sort of like a guide, spirit guide type perspective or an influence, and they come back up on these dates. It's like going in, but they have this basic knowledge that they're free, that they really are free, and the new world persists. And in my timeline, I stopped diving at around a year from now. That's where I'm basically saying, whatever I've done, I'm good with, and I'm living my life now. I'm no longer really out there to help people.
Okay.
I'll help people by virtue of just doing whatever the hell I feel like doing.
Yeah.
And I'll be choosing my reality from then on at a very significant, loving place, knowing that I've offered that opportunity to many others to see. And so there's lots of dates in between. I'm not planning on visiting Cloud 9, but I have sort of like a walkie-talkie connection sort of thing with that. And honestly, when you're there, you're excited to have a human life. You really like, wow, I had no idea that I could do this as a human. And many things unlocked. Lots of things I'd like to discuss. Everything from what food really is in oneness, from what sex really is in oneness, from what communication really is in oneness, from what politics really is in oneness. All these things have a very elevated perspective that leads to just opportunity. Because when you go from what's the worst thing that I can think about this being and the best thing that I can think about being, that's your toolbox. In the next world, you get to choose somewhere in between, because you can account for everything in between. You see,
right?
You basically created a box saying end to end. This is the worst. This is the best. I get to create a world by choosing anything in between. By I know how reality comes together with my focus. So, right now, in this time for this next year, a great deal of life involves what is the extremes that I can understand, and what am I calling opportunity for me. And I'm going to leave you with my website, julienwells.com, and it's spelled JULIENWELLS.com. And that has a link to, basically what I'm up to if people want to find me, or my Facebook or something like that.
See, what I'll do is I'll put a link to your webpage and YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to put a link up to this interview on my page, and I'll put links to your websites, because I know people are going to want to check out some more of your stuff, and you have a lot of shows that touch on many topics that they could probably, watch for a long time to see what you've been up to. So
a lot of material there. And of course, probably the place to find the latest, if you're not, check my Facebook page, Julien Wells public page is my Facebook page. You can probably catch a lot of the current events of what I'm getting up to. Even though I don't necessarily have all my current events up there.
Yeah.
I'll just say it's another good source.
Okay, no, that's wonderful.
Just to talk with me too, as you probably are aware, but maybe some other people aren't. You can find that through my website too, and all that. But it's been a nice chat, and I think we should, explore other lines of thought, or maybe pick up some questions from your friends or the audience or what have you.
Oh, definitely. I could probably get a slew of questions and some of my own for another chat sometime when you have time.
Yeah. Well, it worked out this time, so I'm glad you hit me up.
No, it was great. I just sat here and listened and took her all in, and you gave me lots to think about. a lot of stuff to work on now.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad I had something to share that offers you a place to expand. All right. Have a good night.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye.